Hi! So recently I wrote a blog post on my blog, obviously, about my musical theatre bucket list. So it was a list of shows that I would love to see in the theatre, and some of them were a mix of ones that are currently in the West End, some were ones that are on Broadway, and others are ones that kind of just aren't running at the moment, so I would kill to go and see those. But I read it again yesterday and I realised that there are so many more shows that I could have mentioned that I didn't, and also some of the shows in that post I've actually now seen. So this weekend I went to meet my friend Rachel in London, and we went to see Waitress, Come From Away and Amelia the play, and they were all incredible. Oh my god, I love them so much. Amelia was amazing, and it's leaving the West End on the 1st of June, and it makes me so sad because I wish I could just kind of take everyone that I know to go and see it. If you're in London and you can kind of get to go and see it before 1st of June, then please do, because it's one that just everyone needs to see. Come From Away was also one that I was so excited for because I've listened to the soundtrack a million times. It's pretty much played in my house daily at the moment. Oh, and look, I'm also wearing the t-shirt. So yeah, when I read that post back, I realised that there were so many shows that I could have mentioned that I didn't, and these are either ones that I wish I could see, or I would just love to listen to the soundtrack to, because they're these massively popular shows that I've never really listened to. So here are a list of shows that I want to see or listen to. So number 1 is SpongeBob the musical, and I think this is one of those ones that is seen as a bit of a novelty. It's almost like Shrek the musical, where it's a bit of a novelty musical that people kind of laugh at because it's not very serious. But some of the reviews that I've seen for this show are amazing. Like, people are saying that the set is great, and the songs are kind of... I've seen mixed things about the songs, but I would just love to see it for myself. I don't know if it's still on Broadway, if someone can tell me that. I don't know why, because I'm not going to be able to go to New York, but you know, that's one that I would love to see. I've watched SpongeBob since I was a kid, and it's one of those things that even now at 24, I'll still happily put on the TV if it's on and just sit and watch it. It just makes me happy. So I'd be so interested to see how they turned it into a musical, and I really want to see the sets, because people say that the kind of set decoration is one of the best things about it. Number 2 is Six, and Six was one that I wasn't bothered to see for a long time because I didn't really know anything about it, and it seemed a bit, I mean, kind of similar to SpongeBob in a way, where it seemed like a bit of a weird novelty musical where I just didn't really take it very seriously, but I didn't know much about it. So Six is about Henry VIII's 6 wives, and they all come together to form kind of a girl group, and the whole show they all have their own songs singing about their past and what happened to in their lives, kind of in relation to being married to Henry VIII. And the whole show is done without an interval. It's quite a short show, and the whole thing is done as a pop concert, and that just seems so intriguing to me now. Like, when I didn't really know much about it, I was like, nah, I'm not bothered, but it just seems so intriguing. And my friend Rachel, who I went to see this weekend, adores it, and pretty much everyone that I've seen that have gone to see Six have said that it's amazing. So I think that's one that I'm going to try and see with Rachel at some point this year. I just had to stop recording for like 10 minutes because of a lawnmower outside, so that's fun. So let's get back to it. Number 3 is one that I've kind of seen, but I haven't seen in the theatre. I'll explain in a sec. And that's Everybody's Talking About Jamie. I actually saw this one a few months ago in the cinema, so sometimes theatre shows will show in the local cinema and you can just kind of watch the whole show, but it's like obviously a lot cheaper than a theatre ticket. And that's how I saw Everybody's Talking About Jamie. I really liked it, and it's the kind of show that I would love to see actually in the theatre, rather than kind of, you don't get the theatre experience sitting in a cinema just watching it on a screen, because you may as well just kind of, it's like just watching it on a DVD at home. You never get the same experience as actually being in a theatre and seeing it live and just getting the whole atmosphere of seeing the show as it should be seen. So the cast has now changed since I saw it in the cinema. I saw the original British, you know, the West End cast, and the cast has now changed a couple of times. Leighton Williams now plays Jamie, and I'd love to see him. I know people have said that he's amazing, and people are kind of switching in and out of the cast all the time, but yeah, I would just love to see that show in the theatre as it should be seen. Number 4 is Kinky Boots. Kinky Boots is one of my favourite films. The original film I absolutely love. I watched it when I used to go to LGBT Society when I was in university, and we had film nights where we would just watch films that kind of heavily featured LGBT themes, and Kinky Boots was one of them that we watched, and I just kind of fell in love with it. I loved it. And then I was kind of following the progress of them turning it into a musical for ages, and I didn't get to see it when it was in London, and obviously it was so big on Broadway as well. Brendan Urie played the main character at one point, and that would have been amazing to see, but yeah, there's no way I can go to New York just to see a show. So Kinky Boots is one that I definitely want to see, and I'm actually going to see it in Cardiff, and I'm going to see it in July, and I'm so excited. I've tried listening to the soundtrack, like the Broadway cast recording, and it just, I can't deal with it because it's set in Britain, and the British accents in the Broadway cast are just, I can't deal with them. They're just not great. There seems to be a running thing in Broadway cast recordings, I find, where so many British accents are just atrocious, and I can't deal with the accents in that. I've seen a lot of people saying the same thing as well. I think it was Cat Steele, I'll link her channel below. I think she mentioned Kinky Boots at some point, and the comments were just full of people saying that the accents in the recording are just awful, and I completely agree. So it'll kind of be a whole new experience for me, seeing the show, and I'm so excited to see how they turn it from a film into a stage show, a bit like SpongeBob. I can't wait to see how they do that. Then, you know how I mentioned at the beginning, I've got loads of soundtracks that I want to listen to because I don't really know the stories of the shows, or I don't know anything about the music. I have Spotify, and most of the soundtracks are on there, so I have a huge list that I've just kind of been compiling as I kind of hear or see people talking about these different shows. I've been compiling this huge list of soundtracks that I'd love to listen to. So I thought, I've just got this huge list on my phone. I'm just gonna read through the whole list of all the soundtracks. The kind of, is soundtracks the right word? Am I using the wrong word there? Should I be saying cast recordings? I don't know, but you know what I mean, albums. I'm gonna list off the huge list of cast recordings that I would love to listen to. So here we go. Be More Chill, Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812, the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, Hadestown, Beetlejuice, Bonnie and Clyde, Finding Neverland, Rent, Spring Awakening, Falsettos, Bear, Chess, Ragtime, The Last 5 Years, and Company. So those are the ones I've got on my list at the moment, kind of like a big to-do list of ones I need to listen to. If you've got any more suggestions for shows that you love, leave them in the comments, because I'm happy to constantly expand my list and listen to more and more shows. I just want to find more shows that I love and I can kind of add to my big musical theatre playlist on Spotify. And if there are also any shows that you've seen, particularly in Britain, because I can't really travel elsewhere just to see a show, so any shows that you've seen that you definitely recommend, or if there's ones on this list that you've seen and you've loved or didn't love, either way, let me know, and I'd love to kind of chat about what shows we love. I've got more shows in my bucket list in the original blog post that I wrote, and they include things like Next to Normal and Dear Evan Hansen. So if you want to go and read the blog post, then the link is in the description below. And I'll see you soon with a new video. Bye!